Guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2024 Ford Mustang.
And a big thanks to Deshaun and Josh at Ford of Port Richey for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Port Richey area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And as for Deshaun or Josh.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the Mustang has been a performance car sold by Ford since 1964 or 1964 and a half. The 7th generation Mustang that you see here is all new for 2024, available either as a convertible or a coupe. The coupe that we have here is available in 6 trims and 2 engine options, starting with the 2.3 liter EcoBoost that we have here, cranking out 315 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque, as well as a 5 liter V8, which now cranks out 486 horsepower with 418 pound-feet of torque. Trim-wise, we get the EcoBoost GT and the Dark Horse, and all 3 of those trims get a premium option. And here we have the base EcoBoost with a base price of $30,920. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So here we get a ground-up, all-new 7th generation Ford Mustang. I know by the looks of it, it may look like just a refresh S550, especially from this angle, but once we hop out back, you'll really see the ground-up, all-new design. Up front, we get all new headlights. We have 3-piece projector LEDs for the high and low beam, daytime running light right up top, and a beautiful blue metallic paint. Hopefully you guys can pick up the sparkles here in this Florida sun. The grille, we get a flat black grille with a contrasted aluminum looking pony badge. This is the design that I personally prefer. I know the black options give you a full black grille with a black pony, but I actually prefer the aluminum pony that we have here. Down below, we have a panel for our advanced safety features, a subtle lip spoiler up front too. I like how Ford gives you a subtle lip spoiler. Chevy does not give it to you with the base Camaros. The hood gets a nice bulge up front. No heat extractors. You got to go for the GT to get the heat extractors. This 2.3 liter EcoBoost doesn't really need it anyway, but it would be nice to have for the styling purposes. I like the body color wheel well area. The wheels are a little bit basic, but to be expected with the base Mustang. These are 17-inch alloys. I believe they're 7.5 inches wide. The tires are Hankook Venus Noble S12 all-season tires. Similar tires to what you get on a Ford Explorer, so expect very plush ride quality, but as far as performance, it's not going to be nearly as performance-oriented as, say, a summer performance tire. Either way, though, these are nice, comfortable tires for a $30,000 base price. I like the body color mirrors. They're foldable, not power folding, wouldn't be expected. The glass fills up just about the entire frame. It's not the largest glass, but we do get blind spot monitoring on it. I like the black trim for the window trim, nice tints. Shout out to Ford of Port Richey for adding the tints here on this 2024 Mustang EcoBoost. We get Smart Access standard. I know it's a pretty basic feature, but my 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn does not get Smart Access as a standard feature. Out rear, same rear wheel and tire setup, still get the 17-inch by 7.5 wheels wrapped in 235/55 R17 Hankook Ventus S1 Noble 2 all-season tires. I'm sorry if I didn't read the dimensions out up front. The 235/55 R17. So the 235s, they're not the widest setup, but with the 55 series sidewall, the ride quality should be absolutely excellent for a performance-oriented vehicle. The gas cap is pushed open. We get easy fill, and you can throw 87 octane fuel here for this EcoBoost 4-cylinder. I know I usually say that with turbocharged engines, especially turbocharged 4-cylinders, to throw in the premium fuel, but if Ford recommends 87 octane, who am I to correct them? We get rear parking sensing standard too. This is where you really start to notice the difference compared to the previous generation. I know a lot of you guys may think that the styling, especially for the fender in the rear, looks a little bit like a Camaro, and honestly, I see it a little bit, but only right here. Outside of this little fender area, I don't see any reminiscence of a Camaro. The taillights are completely unique. They're sequential. We get the aluminum outlined pony with the backup camera right up top. The reverse light is in the center. We get dual exhaust tips, and speaking of the dual exhaust tips, let's fire up this 2.3 liter EcoBoost and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 2.3 liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder turbo sold by Ford for the 2024 Mustang, and it sounds really good, making a really healthy amount of power, up only 5 horsepower compared to the previous generation, now sitting at 315 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque, but that's enough to get this almost 3,600 pound performance coupe to 60 in 4.5 seconds. That's what Car and Driver tested it at, which is about a half second quicker compared to the previous generation, averaging over 25 mpgs. We get hydraulic struts now standard. Big thumbs up to Ford. The previous generation Mustang did not get standard hydraulic struts. I believe even the Mach 1 didn't get standard hydraulic struts. Maybe the Mach 1 did, but that's where you would start at the very least. Anyway though, we can shut this hood right down. It said Mustang right down below. Hopefully you guys picked it up on camera. We can walk around the front end of this 2024 Mustang EcoBoost one more time, and then take a step inside and see what we get with about a $30,000 base price. So up top, hard plastic just like before, but the middle portion is gushy soft. It's just cloth up top for the base trims, but it's still nice to get padded material and a gushy soft armrest down below. Aluminum door handle, some faux carbon fiber outside of it, 2 speakers on the door panel, some shiny chrome for the door handle itself, 2 window auto one touch, power adjustable mirrors. They're not power folding mirrors, but also wouldn't be expected. A little bit of additional storage down below. You're not going to fit too much, maybe a foot-long sub, but that's about it. Taking a step inside, we get a Mustang nameplate with a pony right next to it. The seats are cloth, but they're like a nice fabric material with contrast stitching, very premium cloth seat. What's not premium is they're completely manual adjustable. That's a thumbs down because the Camaro, even for the base models, does have power adjustable seats. You can still recline, drop, lift, and slide the front seats with latches. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, engine starts up, and everything fires right to life. First thing we notice is just how updated and premium this interior looks now for the new 7th generation Mustang. Starting with the steering wheel, it is thicker. The leather is significantly softer than what you would get from a Camaro. The 10 and 2 is large, 9 and 3 fits perfect in your hands. The horn area has nice graining to it. The horn itself, really loud and aggressive. People should be definitely getting out of your way. You get some faux carbon trim outside of the steering wheel controls, some aluminum outside of them too. On the left side, we have a radar cruise control with lane keep assist, and you can adjust it on the right side. On the right side itself for the controls, we have our active steering assist. You can adjust the volume, skip your songs, and adjust this infotainment system. The voice commands in the top left. Right now we're looking at trip 1. You can also check out your fuel economy, tire pressure, gauge details, and right back to where we started. The gauges are completely digital. It's a 12.4-inch digital gauge display. On the left side, we have our tach. Goes to about 6,500 RPM. We'll see where it actually shifts. If I remember correctly, the previous generation shifted closer to 5,500. On the right side, we have a speedometer that goes to 140 with a digital speedo in the center. Fuel level to the right of it. Down below, you can see the total mileage of the vehicle and the gear we're currently in as well, coolant to the left. The stocks have a really satisfying click, auto headlamps and auto high beams, and auto rain sensing wipers. That's a really impressive feature, standard feature on a base 2024 Mustang. The dashboard is actually soft touch materials. I kind of wish they added this material for the top part of the door panel, but still a premium touch. The center stack is a 13.4-inch touchscreen. This is the home screen right here with the music. You can add your phone. Full climate control settings beneath that. I kind of wish we had hard buttons for the climate. That's the only area that I'm going to really knock this interior, because other than that, it is top-notch premium. I just wish we had controls for the climate outside of the touch sensors. Our overall settings, features, and apps in the right corners. You can check out the features right here: driver assistance, My Mustang, edit your favorite, and the owner's manual. See what My Mustang has to offer. We get the track apps, acceleration timer, brake performance, and lap timer. We also get line lock standard on the 2024 Mustang. We get the auxiliary gauges. Here you can see your oil pressure, G-forces, and the battery voltometer. We can go right back, custom mode. We have track. The steering can be adjusted also to track, traction control, auto start stop is off. You can adjust the cluster too. So right now we're looking at the normal theme. Hopefully you can pick it up on camera. Pressing sport changes things up pretty aggressively. Reminds me of a gauge display that you would get from BMW. Track, we can see it. Takes a second, but hopefully you can pick it up on camera. I like track quite a bit. Calm, we'll see what calm looks like. Not a whole lot, probably won't be leaving it in calm. And the final screen is Fox body, 87 to 93. That looks pretty cool. I think I'll leave it here for the purpose of this review. I also like how they have that 55-mile-an-hour notch, just like the Fox bodies did from 87 to 93. That's about it though for the clusters. We can also adjust my color for the interior illumination. We can press the apps in the lower right corner. Here we have Find mobile apps, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Of course, all are wireless. You see trip 1, fuel economy, FM, phone, and right back to where we started. The screen also has haptic feedback. You get a slight vibration when you press the right screen. You mentioned the climate has to be adjusted through the touchscreen. We don't have any hard buttons down below outside of the max defroster. But here you can adjust the defroster, adjust the vents from the face down to the feet, max AC, and you can turn everything off with a click of a button. One thing that's odd to me is, check it out. So the illumination of this Mustang, it has the screens attached to each other just like on the GT, and it has a 6-speed manual transmission, which is now only available on the GT. The EcoBoost is now exclusively made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission, which is quicker, but I understand that a lot of people that go with the EcoBoost wanted the manual just to simply have a sportier vehicle for around a $30,000 price point. Anyway, continuing along, we have 2 more air vents below the touchscreen. The touchscreen is 13.4 or 13.2 inches, if I didn't mention. The engine start stop button is red. Auto start stop we can disable for the purpose of this review. We have our My Mustang modes with the track apps, auxiliary gauges, custom mode, my color, and the cluster theme. Hazards, favorites, max defroster, and the volume adjustments. Nice, satisfying resistance. Beneath that, we have USB-A and C port. Nice spot for radar detector with a 12-volt. Nice little storage pocket too in front of the gear selector for the 10-speed automatic transmission. We check out the backup camera. Really crisp, high-resolution display, guidance lines, and trajectory with rear parking sensing standard on the 2024 Mustang. One thing I got to complain about with this 10-speed is we don't have any type of manual shift controls. That was a complaint on the 2023 or 2022 EcoBoost we reviewed in this channel, where there were simply no paddle shifters on the wheel, which is the same thing here. For a performance-oriented vehicle, especially one that you're no longer offering in a manual, the paddle shifters are a must. At least give us some type of slapstick, but no, we don't have either here. Hard plastic outside of the gear selector, a little bit of carbon trim outside of that too. Electronic parking brake, 2 cup holders. They're large though. You'll fit 24, possibly 30-ounce bottles easily. The armrest is gushy soft, a million times softer than the Camaro. The storage space is a million times more spacious than the Camaro. You'll fit 4 or 5 12-ounce cans. You can also squeeze in another radar detector, plug it in into the 12-volt in the console. For the passenger side of the dashboard, we have some gloss black and a Mustang badge, more of that faux carbon trim. Hard plastic outside of the glove box to be expected, but we get a large damp glove box. You'll fit 20 license plates, possibly 2 pairs of shoes if you're under a size 10. An almost frameless rear view mirror. It's very large too, really crisp display of what's going on behind you. It's not auto dimming, you gotta pull the flappy thing to dim the mirror. The interior lights are LED. Awesome. We get a sunglass holder too. Cool. That's about it though, guys, for the front seat of this 2024 Mustang EcoBoost. Let's check out the window sticker real quick, see any features that I may have missed on this 2024 Mustang EcoBoost Coupe. So it's classified as a 4-passenger sports car with a 2.3-liter EcoBoost cranking out 315 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission with an Atlas blue metallic exterior and the black onyx cloth seats. So standard equipment, you guys can pause, take a look at all the standard features. It is loaded. So at the time when I bought my 2021 Camaro LT1, the reason I went with the LT1 over the Mustang was simply just because of how many more standard features you get. And that just simply does not seem to be the case anymore. Ford has knocked it out of the park when it comes to standard features. They also knocked it out of the park when it comes to interior look and feel in general. Options, the only option we have here is a $415 mini spare wheel and tire. No charge for the spoiler delete. You can see everything else that we have available. After a $1,595 destination and delivery charge, we're sitting a tick under 33,000 bucks. Fuel economy, we get 26 average MPGs, 22 in the city, 33 on the highway. Really good on gas and really good performance. Now doing 0 to 60 in about 4.5 seconds. I apologize, guys. I'm getting over a sickness. That's why I haven't been uploading a lot of videos recently. So I'm sorry if my voice is a little bit out of there. I'm trying my best. But anyway, that's about it. Of the front seat of this 2024 Mustang EcoBoost. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back here. It does not seem to be super spacious, but I got in here with basically no problem. And with the way that these seats are cut out, maybe I'll fit up, maybe not. Well, I do fit. My legs are completely in the seat. My head is completely in the ceiling. People always say, get the Mustang, it's so much more practical than the Camaro. Just simply not true. There is no space back here for somebody my size. If you're 5'4", 5'5", you'll probably still have trouble fitting back here. You'd have to be like a 7 or 8-year-old kid to be able to fit back here comfortably. Same thing applies for the Camaro. So no, the Mustang is not a more practical vehicle, except for, say, the trunk space. So speaking of that, we'll check it out in 1 second. Let's just continue to see everything else we have back here. It's really not a whole lot. The seats are well bolstered though. For a back seat, I must say, these are one of the more bolstered in the business, and these seats do fall down with child latches back here, and that's probably the only thing you're gonna be able to fit back here is probably children or just people that you really do not like. All right, but getting out of here, that's a completely different struggle. Not as easy as getting in. So if you have older passengers, yeah, this is very not grandparent friendly. Do not put your grandparents in the back of the Mustang. It would be very tough for them to get out. Hopping out back though, button to pop the trunk is right underneath over here, and we can open everything right up. Another thing I like is no more piano black deck lid over here, so it's not going to smudge with fingerprints nearly as bad as the previous generation. And when people say that the Mustang is more practical than the Camaro, this is why. The opening here is quadruple the size. The overall trunk space itself is comparable, if not smaller than the Camaro, but simply because of this opening, it's just so much more usable. The wheel well cutouts also allow you to fit a golf bag horizontally. You'll definitely fit it diagonally. And if you fold the rear seats down 50-50, this is a large cutout. You'll fit a 45-50, maybe a 55-inch TV in here because we have an opening that can actually allow it. I appreciate the hydraulic struts. We can shut this trunk right up, and that's what I mean. See how it's body color? You'll still see fingerprints, but it's not going to be nearly as bad as with the black deck lid. That's about it though, guys, for the inside and outside of this all-new 2024 Ford Mustang EcoBoost base. It is a beautiful redesign, both inside and out. I love the front end design, I love the side profile, and the rear end is completely different. And this is just the EcoBoost. I'm sure we'll get the GT at some point, and that's going to be a blast. But for now, this is the 2024 EcoBoost Mustang. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2024 Ford Mustang EcoBoost. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions, the steering is completely different compared to the previous generation. That's probably the biggest upgrade that this vehicle has seen so far. The wheel itself, I actually prefer this over the wheel that we would get from the Camaro. However, the steering, although it's better, it's not as good as the Camaro still. Over these big giant bumps though, the ride quality is certainly significantly better than the Camaro, especially with these super beefy 55 series sidewall tires, which no, they're not the sportiest, but because of the thickness of the tires themselves, it allows us to have significantly better ride quality. Taking a step out here, we can lean into it about halfway, boost, whoo. Yeah, very good power. The gearing's a little bit long, but it's understandable. We can try out a turning radius over here, see what it's got in a real world situation. Should be pretty sharp. Coming right here. Really sharp. Wow, I was not expecting to be that sharp on the gas. Woo, woo. And yeah, just like the previous generation, it's shifting around 5,500 RPM. That's kind of why I wish we had paddle shifters, just so we can really experience the red line. I know with these EcoBoost motors, they start to fall off after 5,000 RPM anyway. The meat of their boost is between 2 to 4,500. But even still, I would like to hear the high revving noises. This is a sports car, and my idea of a sports car is something that has a little bit of sound going through it. Through the turn though, woo, sounds really good. The brakes feel good. The steering, wow, really responsive. Coming out. Woo! Yeah, guys, this thing can move. We'll try an acceleration off the line, see if we can try to feel what car and driver felt when they got 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. Over the speed bumps, you do feel them a little bit, but with these beefier tires, the ride quality is simply not comparable to what you would get from a Camaro. And we're hitting these bumps pretty quickly too. We'll hit this one nice and slow. Excellent, guys. One more turning radius test. The steering is very well weighted. It's just not quite as on center and direct as the Camaro. All right, guys, right here looks like a good opportunity to try an acceleration off the line, on the gas. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. This thing can move. The brakes feel good. The steering. Ooh. Really nice feeling sports car. I'm sure with lower profile tires, it'll feel even more planted and probably even more responsive when it comes to acceleration. But as you saw, even with these skinnier tires, it still put the power down very well. I could see 0 to 60 happening in under 5 seconds. Are you going to be in 4.5 like car and driver? Probably not. It'll take a professional driver that can squeeze literally every ounce of juice off that launch, which I'm not gonna do. And even if I bought this car for myself, I don't think I would be doing boosted launches very frequently. I'll leave that to car and driver, people who get actual press vehicles from the manufacturer. Just literally off the line, flooring the gas pedal, you'll probably be closer to about 5 seconds. Taking a step out onto this highway, lean into it about a third of the way, daily gas pedal, good power. Actually, we'll make a U-turn here. Start our way back to Ford of Port Richey. We'll try out a real world turning radius right here and open her up one last time. The turning radius here is sharp. It's even sharper than the Camaro on the gas. This thing can rip. And it's really quiet in the interior. I think it has significantly less wind noise than a Camaro. With these beefier tires, the road noise is just about non-existent. Looks like a good opportunity to try an acceleration off the line, and then we'll wrap things up. All right, guys, off the line. Ooh. Yeah. Whew. This thing can rip. Overall, guys, if you're looking for a sports car and you do not want to spend over $30,000 to $33,000-ish, I would definitely recommend checking out the new Mustang EcoBoost. Maybe spend the extra 10, get the GT to get the super thrilling experience. But if you just genuinely do not have the extra 10, or if you live in an area where you just simply don't need that kind of power, like if you're in a city where all the speed limits are 25, 35, maybe even 45 miles per hour, you really don't need a vehicle pushing 500 horsepower. But 315 and 350 torque in an area where you can't really use the power that frequently, a vehicle like this, especially with the beefier tires, is a great way to go. It is comfortable, it is quick, and it looks really good with this all new updated exterior and interior. If that's what you're looking for, guys, I would definitely recommend checking out the all new 2024 Ford Mustang EcoBoost. And a big thanks to Deshaun at Ford of Port Richey for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to her inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Port Richey area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Deshaun. And huge thanks to all of you for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too, it really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.